morning. All right, we're going to go ahead. I didn't need my screen. I didn't need it yesterday, so figured I would just do this. All right, so your assignment last night then, or yesterday, was to finish Alone Over the Atlantic. That must have been scary. All right, so we're not going to ask any questions about that today. We're just going to get started on the work text pages. So I'm going to give you, and there will be no assignment for you today, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and look at page 171 in your work text. 171. All right. Now, you're going to need, you're not going to need a ruler. You can use a ruler, but you don't need one. You can also use a piece of paper. But if you have a ruler that shows inches, that would be great. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to have some map practice today on page 171. There's only 6 questions. Now, if you notice there, that map at the top, it shows the United States on the left, and then it shows France on the right, Europe and North America. All right, and it shows the flight that he took from one place to the other, the flight plan or whatever. So what we need to do is look at the bottom. Do you see the map, not the map key, but the little distance scale? Okay, so 1 inch equals how many miles? 1,000 miles, 1 inch. Okay, so if you have a ruler that shows 1 inch, we're going to use that to estimate the distance, okay? Now, number 1 says, estimate the distance from New York to Paris according to the line of Lindbergh's flight. All right, so let's go ahead and use your ruler. I can't show you how to do it on here, but if you'll use your ruler, you'll start at New York and see how many inches it is to France from where he started to where he ended. Just that. I know there's 2. There's one that kind of curves. Use the straight one because you can't really measure the curved one. So use the straight line, the bottom line, and measure and see approximately how many miles you think that is. So is it measuring a little bit over 3 inches? Like maybe 3.5 or so inches, you think? Okay, so 1 inch is 3,000. I'm sorry, 1,000 miles. 2 inches would be 2,000 miles. 3 inches would be 3,000 miles. So it'd be a little over 3,000 miles, be half about, what would half be? That'd be about 3,600. My book shows that it would be about 3,600 miles, 3,600. You can put 3,500 either way. It's about 3.5 inches. So you can put 3,500 or 3,600 miles. Number 2. Do you think Lindbergh's estimate of 3,600 miles from New York to Paris was a good estimate? Yes, he got it right on. So number 2, just write yes. Number 3, which was the shortest leg of his journey? Was it New York to St. John's? Was it St. John's to Ireland, or was it Ireland to Paris? You really don't even need your ruler for that. You just kind of look. It was Ireland to Paris. That was the shortest leg of his journey, wasn't it? So the number 3 is C. Number 4, draw a straight line connecting New York and Paris. What would have been the approximate distance? Okay, so, oh my gosh. So when I told you to measure that straight line a while ago, you didn't have a straight line on your page, did you? You were probably like, whatever. Now it says to draw a straight line connecting New York and Paris. What would have been the approximate distance if Lindbergh could have flown straight across? Okay, so I probably already messed you up, and I apologize. I didn't realize that straight line was not on your page, but it was. So if you'll measure that straight line, you're going to get just over 3,000 miles. My book shows 3,400 miles, so it would be C. So the first one you were supposed to have measured was the only line that was there. So, number 5. What's the approximate distance from London to Paris? Now for this, you are going to use your ruler. So London to Paris, it's not even an inch, is it? Okay, look down on your little ruler thing on the map. See what it shows? It shows you the different miles as to what they would be. So it's approximately 250 miles, isn't it? So that would be A on number 5. And number 6, what's the approximate distance from Newfoundland to Ireland? Newfoundland to Ireland. Can you measure that, Newfoundland to Ireland? Did you get about 2 inches? So it'd be about 2,000 miles. Okay, good. Turn the page. All right, so what we're going to do on this page is we have 4 little tiny articles to read. And then down at the bottom, we have to put a check mark beside which one we think would be the best headline for that article. So I'm going to help you with number 1, and then you're going to pause it, and you're going to finish 2, 3, and 4, see if you get it right. Okay? Number 1, dawn had just broken over Roosevelt Field, Long Island, on May 20th, 1927. A crowd of 500 people watched as a 25-year-old pilot from Minnesota stepped up into his gray and white monoplane, the Spirit of St. Louis. Charles Lindbergh was about to attempt to fly solo from New York to Paris, a feat that had never been done before. All right, let's look down here at the bottom. Now, number 1 is the blue circle with around the 1. So there's 2 titles we can choose from. Lindbergh takes to the air, or monoplane makes trip to Paris. Which one of those do you think would be the best title for that article I read? Do you think the first one? Lindbergh takes to the air? That sounds like a good newspaper article, doesn't it? Both of them would be correct. Neither one of them are wrong, but the first one would kind of catch your attention. Ooh, somebody takes to the air? Because remember, this had not been done before. Okay? All right, so your job now is to pause it, and I want you to read 2 and go down and put a check mark beside the one you think would be the best title, and do that for 3 and 4. When you're finished, turn it back on and we'll go over the answers. All right, on number 2, you should have chosen the first one. Schomburg's African American Collection. Number 3 would have been the second one, Flapper Fashion Hairdo. And number 4, the last one, Revivals Held Across the Country. Now, if you didn't get some of those right, that's quite all right. This is not a graded page. It's just a kind of a practice page, okay? All right. So that concludes your reading for the week, and you don't have